Morning, everybody. Today is Chav Gimel Kislev, and we are on the discussion of what is a Beinoni, what is a Tzaddik, what is a Rasha. Yesterday we went through a whole bunch of different examples from the Gemara that quoted. One says that a Beinoni is somebody like Rabbah, that the guy never stopped learning all his life, and he was considered a Beinoni. In other places it says he's somewhere in between the Tzaddik and Rasha. We don't know exactly, it's a little vague. And what is a tzaddik? In one place he says that God created tzaddik and he created Hashem, and in another place he says that no, it's up to us. We have to define ourselves as righteous or wicked. So today we will continue this discussion, and we will quote a place from Brachos where he says that the definition of a tzaddik is that he has within him the Yetzer Tov, the voice, the good voice that charges us sometimes to do the right thing. That coming from the Yetzer Tov, that's the tzaddik. He is completely governed and dictated by the Yetzer Tov. A Rasha is completely governed and dictated by the Yetzer Hara, the one who is giving us our negative voice that feeds us negativity. And the Beinoni, he has both voices in his head. He's being pulled in both directions. So that is the definition from Brachos. Now, one last contradiction that Alter Rebbe points out in Hilchas Tshuva by the Rambam, and also in Rashi and Rosh Hashanah, he says that we see that the tzaddik is somebody who has mostly good deeds. A rasha is someone who has mainly bad deeds. A beinoni is like right on the line, half good, half bad. And clearly he says that it has nothing to do with who's running the show inside his head. If it's the Yetzer Tov, the Yetzer Hara, it has to do with your deeds. So then that goes back to our original question of Rabbah. Rabbah considered himself a beinoni. He had half misdeeds? No way. So the Alter Rebbe answers that this, where he says half-half is a Beinoni and most majority good is tzaddik, that is a borrowed term. It's like an example, if somebody goes to graduate school and gets 65s on all their grades and then becomes a master of psychology, they graduate, they're a master. Are they actually a master of their field? It's a borrowed term that when somebody finishes and they get judged and hey, yes, certified master, fine. Same thing with the tzaddik. When they're going up to Shemayim, they're going to be judged, so they're going to pull out the record. Here are your good deeds, here are your bad deeds. Okay, okay, fine. For most of your life you did majority good deeds, go to heaven. That guy's a tzaddik. Is he the archetype tzaddik? Or it's a borrowed term that once you've won the court case, here's a tzaddik. So that's what it is. But if you look at the actual essential being, what is a tzaddik? You see David Melech, he says, V'libi chol b'kirbi, that he killed off half of his heart, that his heart was hollow. And that means that he got rid of the second voice, the voice of the Yetzer Hara that resides in the heart. He got rid of that voice through fasting. And that's why he is considered tzaddik, because he is completely governed by his Yetzer Tov. So now we have introduced two new players. We have a good voice and a bad voice, the Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara. So how does this play in with our tzaddik, Rasha, Beinoni, Yetzer Tov, Yetzer Hara? So Reb Chaim Vital says in Eitz Chaim and in Shara Kedusha, he says that there are two souls residing within every one of us. There is a godly soul and an animal soul. The animal soul is more basic and physical, and he's derived from the klipa of the world. The klipa is a shell that, just like you have a fruit that is what you really want, and a shell that blocks it and covers it, and if you want to get at the fruit, you got to rip away the shell. So the physical world, the Nefesh Bahamas, he comes from this klipa. Now, klipa isn't all bad. Klipas noiga comes from the Eitz Hadas of Tov Ra, that it has a mix of good and bad within it. So the klipa becomes our physical self, that the Nefesh Bahamas is what becomes our personality, that somebody who has a very, their anger or they have a lot of pride, that comes from the physical element of fire. Now, on the good side, fire can be very powerful and passionate. From the element of water, you can either be into all the pleasures of the world, or you can have compassion and love for your fellow man. From earth, you could be lazy and depressed because it's very heavy, earth, or you could be grounded and fortified. And from air, you could either be filled with all this empty, somebody who's boasting and based off nothing, or somebody who makes jokes and scoffs at people. Or air is very much attached to the spirit. So you have all these dual ideas within our physical makeup. And even when we have the good in our physical makeup, you have to be careful. You have to say, am I feeding this hungry person because I don't want him to be hungry anymore, or because I want to feel like a compassionate, good person? Would I be happier if there were no hungry people and I don't get the limelight of being such a compassionate person? But I'm happy that there are no starving people. You have to check yourself, because even the good is coming from this klipas nega. So that is all the Nefesh Bahamas. That becomes our physical self, and it has within it good and bad. And tomorrow we will be introduced to the Nefesh Elokis, the godly soul. Have a good day.